Did you know that one of the biggest misconceptions about hauntings is that the property has to be in an old historic building or one that is on hallowed ground, whether it be in a cemetery built over the top of one, whether it also be a Indian burial site, and so on. Now, these things, yes, they can happen. If you're disturbing the dead, yes, it can happen. If you go and you desecrate a grave or interfere with, a resting place of somebody, yes, they can get pretty annoyed and follow you home. If you notice things falling over also, whilst I'm on this topic, if you're at a cemetery and you happen to see something on a neighbouring gravesite that actually has like flowers that have toppled over, or, anything that has moved on that actual gravesite, keep in mind that there are many spirits who will attach themselves to things. And once you touch that, it's transferred to you, basically, the energy. So if you see something that you think, I will do the right thing and I will, pick that up and move it or what have you, keep in mind sometimes spirits do that because they want you to pick it up. They want you to touch something. So it's best, especially if you've got kids, don't let them go touching anything, even if it's fallen over and they think they're doing the right thing. It must only be the family to do this, because otherwise what's going to happen is if there is a spirit that has knocked that over, and I've seen it happen, where I've been into a cemetery, I've actually seen some spirits that have actually deliberately knocked something over, and the person nearby has actually picked it up and as a result ended up had this spirit follow them home. And it does happen quite a bit. Getting back to a haunted home, you can have equivalent up to 20 spirits walking through your home every single day, not the same ones. If you think about the world, we actually have what is known as ley lines across the Earth's surface. It's like a grid. And in the corner of each of these ley lines, as they cross over, they sort of like crisscross one another. If you think of the movie Tron, for example, those lines that go over the world, this is actually what we have, though we can't see it with our human eye. And in the corner of each of these ley lines is what is known as an energy well. These energy wells, they are very important, especially when it comes to spirit communication and of having like a lot of activity. If you think about some homes, for example, you can have this activity start up and then just as soon as it comes, it's gone. And this is because the energy well has been around that location. It's much stronger when the actual location is, in the middle of this energy well itself. You might notice, people becoming very lethargic, people getting sick, things like that. It can become draining. The energy well itself can also be a thoroughfare for many, many spirits. It's sort of like, think of, Grand Central Station. But the spirits do walk among us. That is reality. The thing is, though, you're probably not going to have too much of an encounter with them because of the fact that they're on a different realm to us. It's sort of like an alternate universe, but they're doing their own thing. A lot of times you may encounter strange apparitions that you seem to sort of catch out the side of your eye. You might see something very dark going past you very quickly, or even something that's almost made of light, like a powdery form. They go past you very quickly. These are usually spirits that are just crossing through. They're not there haunting you. They're not trying to hurt you or, haunt you in any way. Sometimes we do have spirits that take a fancy to a location and they feel a familiarity with it. It could even be the person that's in the location that they might think is a distant relative or someone that they'd known in this life. Sometimes it is someone that they know or a relative. but it doesn't mean that they're there to hurt you in any way. But just know it doesn't need necessarily an old historic building or one that is built on hallowed ground to be haunted. You can have a brand new home, but if it comes into contact with an energy well or the ley lines moving across the Earth's surface, this is when you will find activity begins to ramp up. So I hope this has explained it for you.